Teachers and my dear friends, I, Tashudan Bhutia from Yellow House, is standing here to introduce all the characters of our story. So first of all, I would like to introduce the narrator of the story, Nimatrim Serpa and Rawaz Husaini. Secondly, I would like to introduce the king and queen, Avik Rai as the king and Arohi Chatri as the queen. I would also like to introduce the gods, Agna Guru and Sama Vishwakarma. Being a small boy also has Subba. Abhinay Chatri as King's father. And myself as King's mother. And all the children.
I can sit here, no sir? Yeah.
Thank you. He was very old. He did not have any children. He wanted to choose an honest and good person to become the king after him. He thought to himself, how will I find such a person? He then had an idea. He called all the children in his kingdom to his palace and gave each of them a special flower seed and said, plant this seed, bring the plants to my palace next year. Whoever can grow these seeds into the best flowers will become the king. All the children went back home. A small boy also went back home with the seed. He was very happy because he loved plants. He filled the flower pot with rich soil and planted the seed. Every day he watered the seed, but nothing happened. The seed did not sprout. He put the seed into a bigger pot with more soil. Still, nothing happened. He became very worried and very sad. At the end of the year, his pot was empty. Spring came. All the children took their pots with beautiful flowers to the king. Only Ping had an empty pot. He was ashamed. But Ping's father said, you have did your best. Your best is enough for the king. Go to him with the empty pot. Ping went to the palace. The king was looking at all the flowers. Slowly he came to Ping's pot and asked, why is your pot empty? Ping said, I have done my best, but the seed did not sprout. King smiled and said, I have found the next king. He said to the other children, the seeds that I gave you were all cooked. They could not grow into a plant. All of you have cheated, but Ping is an honest boy. He will be the next king. Moral: honesty is the best policy. Honesty implies being truthful. Honesty means to develop a practice of speaking truth throughout life. You can never be true to others if you keep on lying to yourself. The more honest you are, the more easy it is to trust. Thank you. Good morning, respected judges, teachers, and my dear friends. Today we are going to present a story. The name of our story is The Good Samaritan. Whatever more you spend, I will repay you when I came back. Which of these three do you think proves to be the neighbor of the man who fell among the robbers? The man said, the one who showed him mercy. And Jesus said, you go and do likewise. Moral of the story. In this competitive and growing world, people do not have time for others. This story or parable teaches us to love everyone and help each other to make this world a better place to live. It teaches us about the unconditional love for each other because it says, whatever you sow, you reap. Because it says, whatever you sow, you reap. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Morning, respected teachers and my dear friends. Today we are going to narrate the story. The title of our story is Good Deed, and the writer of the story is Oscar Wilde.
High above the city, on a tall column, stood the statue of the Happy Prince. He was gilded all over with leaves of fine gold. 4 eyes he had, 2 bright sapphires, and a large red sea flowed on the hills of his sword. Everyone admired him. How beautiful the Happy Prince is, they said. I'm glad there is someone in the world who is so happy, remarked an old man. One night, a little swallow flew into the city. She was tired. Where shall I put up? She asked herself. Then she saw the statue on the column. I'll put up there, she cried. So she alighted just between the feet of the Happy Prince. Just as she was pulling her head under her wings, a large drop of water fell on her. What a curious thing, she said. There is not a single cloud in the sky. Then another drop fell. What is the use of the statue if it cannot keep the rain off? I must look for a better place for myself. She prepared to leave, but before she could do that, another drop fell. The swallow looked up to her surprise. She saw the Happy Prince crying. His eyes were filled with tears and they were running down his cheeks. The swallow said, who are you? The statue replied, I'm the Happy Prince. Why are you crying? When I was alive and had a human heart, replied the statue, I did not know what tears were. I lived in a palace where no sorrow could enter. After I died, they have set me up here so high that I can see all the ugliness and misery. So I cannot choose but weep.
Far away, continued the statue, there is a poor house. I can see a woman seated on a table. Her face is thin and her hands are coarse, all pricked by the needles. In a bed in the corner of the room, her little boy is lying. He is ill and asking for oranges. His mother has nothing to give him, so she is crying. Swallow, swallow, will you not give her the ruby from my sword hilt? The swallow had friends waiting, and hence said no. But the Happy Prince looked so sad that the swallow felt sorry. It is very cold here, she said, but I will stay with you for one night and be a messenger. It's not to Egypt that I'm going to, dear prince, but to the house of death. Goodbye once again. Then he hugged the prince and fell down dead. At that moment, a crack was heard from inside the statue as if something had broken. The leaden heart had snapped right in two. Moral: when you have enough to help others, don't let the chance go. Your good deeds will be repaid to you. Thank you.
Dear judges, teachers, and my dear friends, I am Persis Sharma. I am Judith Silka from Orchid House. We are going to narrate a story before you, and the title of our story is The Gift. A young man was getting ready to graduate from the university for a long time. He had admired a beautiful sports car in a dealer showroom, and knowingly his father could dwell upon it. He told his father that was all he wanted. As the graduation day approached, the young man began looking signs that his father had bought the car. For his graduation, his father called him in his study and told him how proud he was to have such a fine son and how much he loved him. He gave his son a beautiful gift box. Curious but somewhat disappointed, the young man opened the box and found a lovely leather Bible. Angry, he raised his voice to his father. With all the money you gave me a Bible, and thrown outside the house, leaving the Bible. Many years passed, and the young man was very successful in his own business. He had a beautiful home and a wonderful family, but he realized that his father was very old and thought that he should go to him as he had not spoken to him since that graduation day. Before he could make any arrangements, he received a telegram telling him that his father has passed away and he left all his possessions to his son. So he needs to come home and take care of him. When the young man arrived on his father's home, sadness and regret filled his heart. He started sorting papers of his father and saw the still new Bible just as he had left years ago. Tears in his eyes, he picked up the Bible and started turning its pages. His father had carefully underlined the verse Matthew chapter 7 verse 11. If ye then begin evil, know how to give good gifts unto your children. How shall the Father which is in heaven give good things to them that ask him? Reading his word. Suddenly a card dropped from the back of the Bible, and it had the tag of the dealer's name and date of his valuation. Moral of the story: how many times we have missed out blessings because they are not packed enough in way we expect. We should value whatever our parents have given us because some not even get that.